What if a single moment could change the world? What if one voice could rise above fear against unimaginable odds? In a valley shadowed by conflict, where girls were told to stay silent, one girl raised her voice, not in anger, but in clarity, not for vengeance, but for education. This girl would survive an assassin's bullet, win the Nobel Peace Prize, and ignite a global movement. Her name? You guessed it. Malala Yousafzai. Today we explore her incredible journey from a schoolgirl in Pakistan's Swat Valley to one of the most inspiring voices of our time. Malala was born in 1997 in Pakistan, in the lush and mountainous Swat Valley. Her father, Zainuddin Yousafzai, an educator and an activist, ran a school and believed fiercely in girls' education. Very smart man. From an early age, Malala was encouraged to think freely, speak openly, and fight for what was right. Something we should all teach our children. But in 2007, the Taliban swept into Swat Valley, that is. Music was banned, TV stations were closed, were shut down, and girls were forbidden from going to school. The world will soon learn about Malala's courage, but it was a world that would push her to the edge of death, literally. At just 11 years old, Malala began blogging anonymously for the BBC Urdu under the name Gul Makai. There she chronicled life under the Taliban rule. She wrote, "I had a terrible dream yesterday with military helicopters and Taliban. I'm afraid that someone would stop me from going to school." Her words weren't just an account of fear. They were a declaration of resistance, a quiet protest against oppression. As her voice grew louder, Malala became a beacon of defiance. She appeared in interviews, spoke at press events, and became a symbol of resistance.
The world. In 2011, CNN interviewed Malala Yousafzai, a Pakistani girl who gained international headlines 2 years earlier for speaking out for girls' education through a blog she wrote under a pseudonym.
When I see my name in the newspaper, I feel that, yeah, God has given this honor to me and I shall accept it.
Malala's life changed forever on October 9th, 2012. While on her way home from school in Pakistan's Swat Valley, a group of armed Taliban boarded her school.
But then, on October 9th, 2012, everything changed. Malala was riding home on a bus when a Taliban gunman boarded the same bus and shot her in the head. The world held its breath. Miraculously, though, Malala survived.
Malala's life changed forever on October 9th, 2012. While on her way home from school in Pakistan's Swat Valley, a group of armed Taliban boarded her school bus, asked for her by name, and shot her in the head. 2 of her classmates were also wounded in the attack. But Malala's injuries were so severe, doctors didn't think she'd survive. She was airlifted to a military hospital in Peshawar, where she had surgery to remove the bullet lodged in her shoulder. From the UAE to Germany to the US, doctors from around the world offered to treat the young girl.
She was airlifted to the UK, underwent multiple surgeries, and awakened to a global movement rallying behind her.
But ultimately Malala flew to the UK, where she continued treatment at Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham. When hearing about the attack, people around the world were inspired by her courage. Many attended prayer vigils and lit candles.
We want justice!
Others stood in support of her efforts through rallies, holding up her picture and demanding change.
But Malala didn't retrieve. She rose. In 2013, she gave a historic speech at the United Nations on her 16th birthday, a day which is now known as Malala Day. Her words, one child, one teacher, one book, one pen, can change the world.
I don't know where to begin my speech. I don't know what people would be expecting me to say. But first of all, thank you to God, for whom we all are equal. And thank you to every person who has prayed for my fast recovery and a new life. I cannot believe how much love people have shown me. I have received thousands of good wish cards and gifts from all over the world. Thank you to all of them. Malala Day is not my day. Today is the day of every woman, every boy, and every girl who have raised their voice for their rights. On the 9th of October 2012, the Taliban shot me on the left side of my forehead. They shot my friends too. They thought that the bullet would silence us, but they failed.
Malala's voice was now a call for action for girls everywhere, and the world was listening. Malala's journey didn't stop there. In 2014, at just 17 years old, she became the youngest ever Nobel Peace Prize laureate. She shared the honor with Kailash Satyarthi, an Indian child activist symbolizing unity beyond borders. India and Pakistan sharing the Nobel Peace Prize. I had two options, she said. One was to remain silent and wait to be killed, and the second was to speak up and then be killed. And that's exactly what Malala did. She spoke up in the wake of her shooting. She didn't just survive, she thrived. She co-authored her memoir, I Am Malala, which became a global bestseller. In it, she shared not just her trauma, but her unwavering hope. In 2015, Malala established the Malala Fund, an organization fighting for 12 years of free, safe, quality education for every girl on the planet. That's the least society can do for our girls, right? A world with educated women. But the truth is, Malala's story is just the beginning. Across the globe, more than 113 million girls are out of school, and in regions plagued by conflict, poverty, child marriage, or regressive laws, girls are often the first to be deprived of education. The barriers are not just logistical, they are cultural, political, and deeply systematic. In Afghanistan, for example, under Taliban restrictions, girls are banned from secondary and university education. What a shame. In parts of sub-Saharan Africa, poverty, early pregnancies, and lack of infrastructure keeps millions of girls at home. and out of schools. In conflict zones like Syria or South Sudan, schools are bombed or used as shelter while families struggle for basic survival. The consequences? Devastating, of course. When girls are deprived of education, entire communities suffer. They stay locked inside poverty cycles. But when girls thrive, societies flourish. Girls who are denied education often faced a lifetime of struggle, hardships. They marry young, face domestic abuse, and remain economically dependent on a man, husband, father, but the impact, it ripples outwards, affecting communities and societies. Educated girls transform nations, raise healthier families, delay childbirth, reduce infant mortality, and foster peace. Education is the key to breaking free from cycles of poverty. When girls are educated, communities thrive and flourish. Malala's fight isn't hers alone. It is the fight of 130 million girls who are out of school today. Her story is a reminder that education is not a privilege. It is a right, a very basic right. And when girls are educated, they lift up communities, reduce poverty, and change the future for everyone. We all want to change the future, don't we? From the Swat Valley to the global stage, Malala Yousafzai continues to teach us that courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to act anyway. That healing doesn't begin in silence. It begins in action, in doing something. And that one girl, one voice can indeed change the world. Can you be that girl, that woman who impacts society, who speaks up and shares her story, speaks up and shares other folks' stories? After all, we need to share our stories. We need to tell our stories so that collectively these single voices will have a bigger impact. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time. If you liked the content, please do share it with your friends. The more people engage, the more we raise our voices together. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It helps a lot. It helps the algorithm share the content with more and more people. Like if you like, and comment so that we can get engaged in conversation. Have a wonderful week, folks, and see you next time. Bye. From scattered fragments to global unity, healing our world together. Could we be unleashing something we can't control? Possible, even if we had the best intentions. Have we as a society opened Pandora's box without even realizing it, maybe? What if the technologies we create, the systems we design, and the ideas we embrace are all ticking time bombs of unforeseen consequences? What if the things we fear most are always here, waiting for us to open the door? Is there something hidden inside all of us, just waiting to break free? When was the last time you questioned the power of your curiosity? What have you opened or are you about to open that could change everything? Is it possible to control the forces we have unleashed in the world? Or are we too far down the path of discovery to turn back now? Welcome back to Panacea9, where ancient stories guide us through modern storms.